On Friday, when Bayern Munich was going to play the side, they went ahead to lose by 3-2 over the weekend. Thomas Tuchel came out and really put out a statement that 5 players were out, and that was Neuer, Coman. There was this other player that was really out of action. That was Leroy, Sane, Mazrui, and He's called Pelovic in there for you. But today has been really very interesting that they've gone ahead to train with the side of Bayern Munich, and we are going to bring you what it means. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun. This is the channel that brings you your football news from all the football clubs apart from Man United. If you want to really gauge Man United, you know where you find us. United Matters channel it is. Now, we are going to hear Serge Gnabry obviously talking about how hard it is to knock out the side of Arsenal. Thomas Muller has something to say in the mix, and the players we expect obviously coming through and really start, and those that we don't expect to start have all again to obviously be given to us. The chances of Thomas Tuchel being sacked, if Arsenal annihilate him at the Emirates, have also been vindicated into this video. Now, you have every reason to sit, tighten your seat belts, get something to eat or drink, and I'm gonna serve you with the best tea ever ahead of this tie of the Champions League. This is Rokani David, and let's get close to 300 likes watching this video, and let's continue to subscribe because we're left with I think 30 subscribers to hit 20,700 subscribers, and our target is to hit 21,000 subscribers. But before we reach 21,000, we need to obviously have these hundreds of subscribers go in and see to it that we hit the milestone. So let's start it off with this. We've been told from one of the biggest Bayern channels that Neuer, Coman, Leroy, Sane, Mazrui, and Pavlovic all back in training ahead of tomorrow's game. Only Saja Boy and Bonassar are really out. So the training session has been carried at forgotten the name of the training ground of Bayern Munich, and all these players have gone ahead to return. It's a very huge injury boost, 5 injury boost for the side of Bayern Munich to see if these players really coming through. But for me, the givens are Neuer, he's gonna be in goal, that means, and I think Coleman will obviously come through and start. Leroy Sane, he needs to be at his best to get into the team, but this is a very huge injury boost for the side of Bayern Munich. In a game like this, when you're going to play against Arsenal, you need all your best tools into your toolbox. You need all your best bullets into your bullet chamber. That is it. And I think Thomas Tuchel is really an excited man that at least he's going to be having almost 95% of his squad. But the big question is, are they ready? Are they ready? They might be training fit, but are they much fit? That is the problem, and that is where Arsenal gets an edge, because for Arsenal, all their players returned in time, and remember, they used the international break, the 2 weeks break, and they went ahead to obviously bringing their players together, and you've gone ahead to see what the players of Arsenal have gone ahead to do in their games. They've gone ahead to play ever since they returned from international break. 3 games have gone ahead to be played by Arsenal: draw with Man City, beat Luton Town. They've gone ahead to annihilate Brighton over the weekend. But for Bayern Munich, I think they've gone ahead to drop, 6 points ever since they returned from the international break. He's really doing ugly, and I tell you what, Bayern Leverkusen is 16 points ahead of him. But these players returning is really good. It really shows how firm this squad is. But I would like to strengthen all Arsenal fans, even if these players are really back. Bayern is not the team to come out and really be afraid about. Arsenal is the team that hardly concedes a goal. When you look at Bayern Munich in the group stages only, I think they went ahead to concede 3 against Man United, 1 against Copenhagen, I think 3 against Galatasaray. They've been a high conceding side, even in the Champions League, because one will say they've gone ahead to be conceding goals in the Bundesliga, but they've not gone ahead to be conceding very many in the Champions League. In the Champions League, they've gone ahead to be conceding, and if Lazio beat them, by 1-0 in Italy, Lazio is nowhere near the levels at which Arsenal plays at, and they had all their players fit. So that means Arsenal can go 3, like I said, 3-0, in as far as scoring those goals is really concerned. So let's wait and see how these 5 players can return, really get them good. But Pavlovic was in that midfield with Joshua Kimmich. Now we wait to see how that happens. But Mazurui, I don't know whether they're going to be given a go to play as a right back, because he might be afraid of Martinelli. He's fresh. Jesus is fresh. All the players that Trossards of this world, who play as left forwards for Arsenal, are really in a fresh mode. So that might really threaten Thomas Tuchel a little bit, obviously bringing these players to do the job, because the more you bring in these players who are really not much fit, they might find themselves in a position of really getting annihilated. You see how Casemiro is struggling at the club of Man United. With the best that he has gone ahead to find himself really out. So for me, I believe only 2 might obviously come in through to start, and the others might come off the bench to obviously play in a little bit of minutes. Now, after that injury boost news that is going to be delivered to you, to the fans of us and the fans of Bayern Munich on this channel, let's obviously have a go into the team player of Bayern Munich, Thomas Muller. 2 days before, I think he did this on Saturday. I think it's Saturday, right? And he said, 2 days till we face Arsenal. It's honestly a tough moment for us. After back-to-back defeats in the Bundesliga, our confidence seems to be pretty low. We should take this opportunity. We should take this situation as a chance to surprise everyone at the big stage against the Gunners. It's not the moment to give up. Let's go, boys. That's what he would hate to say. Now, Bayern Munich has been really looking ugly. I tell you, they've gone ahead to drop points anyhowly. And if you're a side that you think Bayern is going to come up and really put up a show, I don't doubt that. But it's really having a very bad season. They lost to Borussia Dortmund on the 30th. As returned from the international break, they lost to Borussia Dortmund by 2-0. And remember, they were home. Then Heidenheim went ahead to beat them by 3-2 over the weekend. So it shows you that they are nowhere near good. And Thomas Muller has every reason to worry, as they obviously face the most informed team in European football, and that is none other than Arsenal. So he's calling upon for his players to obviously carry themselves on and really fight for the club. But I've gone ahead to see very many times when the German side, that is Bayern Munich, has always gone ahead to really show a lot of strength when they are playing against English teams. The last 3 times, I think they've gone ahead to come and play in London. They've gone ahead to beat all the English teams, and they've gone ahead to win on an aggregate of 15-3. Now, goalposts have gone ahead to shift, and there is nowhere they are near being favorites. If it was the Bayern Munichs of way back, they would have gone ahead to come into this game as favorites, but they come in here as underdogs, and I want to see how they're going to play when they're really underdogging at the Emirates. Then Serge Gnabry, formerly at Arsenal, who was asked, why will FC Bayern Munich reach the Champions League semi-finals for the first time since the 2019-2020 treble season? He said, it's a do-or-die game. That's where we are usually particularly strong. Reaching the semi-finals of the Champions League would give us a huge boost. It's our big goal. So he has gone ahead to declare the game against Arsenal as a do-or-die game, and I agree with him, because you know exactly what it means when you're facing off a side like Arsenal, and they are really in epic form, and their elite mentality has gone ahead to take them far and take them places. So I think Serge Gnabry is returning to his former home, though he never really got a chance to play at Arsenal for a long time. They loaned him to West Brom, then they sold him to, is it Hoffenheim in Germany, and that's where he went ahead to do all his stuff. So when you look at Serge Gnabry, you really understand that he knows what to do and he knows how hard this game is going to be. That's what's going to label it a do and die game. But he feels that if they go to the semi-finals, it can obviously act as a boost to revive their season. And I don't rule out Bayern Munich knocking out Arsenal, but on 100% chance, Bayern has 10%. 90% falls onto the Arsenal side because Arsenal has every tool to really tear apart that Bayern Munich side, and Arsenal doesn't respect any teams like those. And I tell you what, Bayern is not going to come in through and really play like the Bayern Munich of the yesteryears, as the Bayern Munich of the yesteryears was really one of those that always played at the front foot and could attack you left, right, and center. But this Bayern Munich is going to sit back. I tell you, they're going to sit back and hit Arsenal on the break. But when you look at the front line and the brilliant players that Arsenal really have, it will call for the Bayern Munich defense to be at its best to really stop the side of Arsenal, because Odegaard, Saka, Jesus, Kai Havertz on the attack, it's very hard for you to survive when those players with their qualities really show up or raise up to the occasion. And we know they're going to raise up to the occasion because this is their season and they're having players in form like Kai Havertz who are in the form of their lives, so obviously coming through and really torment you. Now, as they come into this game of football, Arsenal fans, you should really look at this and really understand how it's really going to come out and really affect the result of the game. It's coming in through from Abedizdung and Patrick Stresser. The Arsenal game could be Thomas Tuchel's final game at Bayern. If the situation becomes irreparable and Tuchel has to go immediately, there is an idea within the club about Miroslav Klose taking over as an interim coach with Herman Galland supporting him as an assistant. This scenario is an emergency solution being considered in case of a total disaster. But where have we gonna hit to reach this? We've gonna hit to reach this level because a certain story was put out by Bild that Bayern are still sticking with Thomas Tuchel at the moment, despite the two recent defeats. Internally, it is said that there is hardly a game that Thomas Tuchel is excited about as the Arsenal game. The coach wants to prove himself to everyone again, especially in his former home of London. The plan of the people in charge is for Tuchel to be in charge at least on Saturday against Cologne, but it also depends on tomorrow's game against Arsenal. If Bayern Munich lose narrowly but show a good performance, he will most likely stay until the second leg. But if the team shows another poor, uninspiring performance with a poor result, someone else could take over straight away. So, it's really bad for Thomas Tuchel. And, if you're really having a game against Arsenal, acting as your lifeline, then it's like you've already gone here to be sacked. It will require a miracle for Bayern Munich not to swallow, hear me out, not to swallow 3+ goals at Emirates. It's going to be a miracle. It's really going to be a miracle, and I will be shocked. Bayern Munich playing very well, it will depend on the players. It's not on the manager. It depends on the players. If the players raise up to the occasion, they might come out and really torment the side of Arsenal. But if the players don't raise up to the occasion, they won't come out to obviously torment this side. So it's all about the players, because the manager is going to have to lose control of this team. And I tell you, if he had really control of the team, then he would have gone ahead to see Netherlands lose in the Bundesliga like that. He wouldn't have gone ahead to find himself 16 points behind the table leaders. You understand? So it's really very harsh of him, and his dominance in Germany is going to have to be put to an end. And here he comes to obviously see that he plays Arsenal. And if at all Arsenal has been given to you as the yardstick to either leave or not, to either leave or stay at Bayern Munich, it's high time he packed his stuff. But I'm going to be surprised if Bayern knock out Arsenal. That is it. It's going to be the hugest surprise of this season for me. Now, as Thomas Tuchel finds means obviously coming in through to put in a very good shift to take on the side of Arsenal, we've been told by the kicker that Kim Min-jae and Dayot Upamecano failed to impress against Heidenheim and couldn't recommend themselves for the game against Arsenal. Therefore, Matthias de Ligt and Eric Dyer, who were arrested yesterday, are likely to be given preference on Tuesday unless something unforeseen happens. I think these ones can do a better job, than Upamecano. I think Kim Min-jae is really good, but I think he's struggling at Bayern Munich. And he might be regretting why he never went ahead to join Man United, because the reason as to why he failed to join Man United was because of the agent fees. But he would have gone ahead to find himself in a position of really representing to the fullest. Though even Man United is in the mud, but Bayern Munich is really totally in the mud, because for them, they are not in a competitive league like the Premier League, you get? But they are 16 points behind the table leaders, that is Bayern Leverkusen. So we wait and see which central defense partnership is going to play into this game of football. But I believe this manager really likes Dayot Upamecano. He likes him a lot. The last time he never played in the Champions League is because he really had a red card. But for Kim Min-jae, I really understand the manager. I might really go ahead and really bench him. But Upamecano, I don't see him being benched. Remember the last time he played in England, he gifted Haaland 2 goals. When Man City was really knocking them out last season. I think it was on to the quarterfinals. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Tell me your thoughts about the 5 players of Bayern Munich return. Arsenal fans, what do you think about that? I sign out for now. Juma Karim, it's not Juma Karim, Ramadan Karim. To the Christians, recover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I'm out.